That's a fact. When did you link up with Katt Williams? What was your first time linking up with him, and how do you feel about Katt Williams now?
Kat and I first met in Oakland, California. I was working at the Sobe Television Network. We were, doing stand up. He was not even Cat in the Hat at that moment. This is pre Friday After Next and pre dental work and pre all that stuff. We have children the same age. My daughter, his son Micah, same age, and our friendship never waned. It just never waned. We became friends back in Oakland. Then he came to Los Angeles, and then he started doing more comedy, and he started catching on like fire. Then I moved to Los Angeles, and I seen him, and then he did the movie, and he became Cat in the Hat. Then he had to work very hard to get people to stop calling him Cat in the Hat and realize what his real name was, Katt Williams. And when Cat went on his very first tour, the very first tour, because other tours were plagued with problems, but that very first tour that he ever went out on, American Hustle, that was the Pimp Chronicles. That was me, Red Grant, Melanie Camacho, and it was amazing for him to reach back and get me when he didn't have to. Was wonderful, and that's what you're supposed to do. Each one teach one, and that's what Kevin has had. His writers for a long, long time. They came out of Oakland as well, up under my tutelage, I might say, and they would agree. Harry Radford and Joey Wells have been with Kevin for many, many years. I think Cat has had some problems in the past, but just like Biggie said, more money, more problems. When your gross net worth is broadcast on Google and everybody knows how much money you got or how much they think you got, the handouts are nonstop, and it's enough to drive anybody crazy. Then you have to think about the people who stole from him that y'all don't even hear about. Stole from me, stole from us during the tour. That set you back. And there's rage there. When he was raging and acting out, that was probably his way of looting and burning down the damn building. Yeah. But I talked to Cat, just about 2 weeks ago. We are, still madly in love with each other. I can make him laugh. He makes me laugh. And I know the guy that people don't know. And there's other people who don't know him in different ways than I do. But he's my friend. He will always be my friend. And he changed my life because I'd never been on a G6 plane before. I'd never start buying diamonds for myself before. I'd never made as much money as I ever made on him. And that is to this day. So, I take people for what they're worth. I've never seen them do no dope. I've never seen it. I don't know I'm not a toxicologist. I've never seen it. And I will never say a bad word about him ever. And I don't give a fuck who like it or don't like it. That's the way I feel. You asked me, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Yes, ma'am, I did. He was very respected and prominent for putting on acts like yourself, the Melody Camachos, the Red Grants, people that were often overlooked in comedy, but was funny as hell. Like when you seen Pimp Chronicles for the first time on HBO, we got to see Cat, but when you got to buy the DVD, we got to see such incredible talents, and he was always very loyal in that. Can you just talk about how important he was to all of your careers and how it's very rare to see that? Because we hear gatekeepers. I want to talk about that too eventually, but gatekeepers in Hollywood, this, that, or the third. Cat seems quite the opposite. You talk about how he helped you guys?
Well, when he went out on the second tour, after we had made the movie, we pretty much thought we were going to go back out with him again. He didn't take us out. He took a new crop of comedians out. And, for a while we felt some type of way. But then again, like I've said in interviews, you can't ride his dick forever. What are you going to do now with the platform that he's given you? Right. So I continued, obviously, to thrive. Red stayed on the road with him for maybe 4 years after that. Melanie has done some other, tours with very prominent people as well. And I continue to just be myself. Cat can spot genius in anybody. He can spot untapped genius. He can spot genius that needs to be re-sparked. And we call him the wizard because he's very well read. He knows everything going on. He keeps up with me. He might be watching this now for all I know, because he keeps up with what I'm doing when I don't even think he's paying attention. And, he's borderline genius, people who are genius are, you know, just this little thin microcosm from being what people call crazy, you know.
Mhm.
But it takes genius to do what he did. You know, Katt was one of the most popular, highest paid comics in the history of comedy. You
Yeah.
know, walking through the airport with him was like the fucking Pied Piper. Like people literally would leave their food on the table to come out and just, you know, touch the hem of his garment. It was bananas. It was like we missed planes. We had to start flying private because we couldn't get to the plane for the people. You know, so you know, I think that as he says, anybody who counts him out has sorely miscounted. Katt will be back, and do not forget they downplay this. Katt won the Emmy award for a show that didn't even win an Emmy.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta didn't win an Emmy, but Katt Williams did.
Alligator Man or some shit. That shit was hilarious.
I know.
Yeah, Katt, man, he's definitely a great guy, polarizing figure. You know what I mean, to say the least. Kevin Hart. What are your thoughts on Kevin Hart?
Kevin and I have done 4 movies together.
Right.
Kevin and I have done Real Husbands of Hollywood and his podcast show that Earthquake does out of his studio. We did Laugh Out Loud thing where he mentored, you know, comics from around the country. And of course, he had me be on the episode where he did Oakland. And I think that Kevin has respect for me. Am I one of Kevin's favorite people? Is he going to invite me over for Christmas? No. You know, we don't socialize like that. But as long as you have respect for one another, and I think he's built a great empire. And I think that, you know, his children are going to be well taken care of for the rest of their lives. And at the end of the day, that's really all that you can ask for. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We heard, or he said that he would hope that he can do a Harlem Nights kind of reboot with himself, Katt, Mike Epps. We talked about it on this platform. Could that ever possibly happen? And how crazy it would be if it could. But do you think that's realistic?
Well, you see, I do think it's realistic, but you see how it's this. Let me tell you about being a female comic. If you were to stop anybody in the hallway or anybody down the street and you say, name your top 10 favorite comics, they would name all men.
That's majority, not everybody.
No. They would name all men until you say, well, what about Wanda Sykes? Oh, yeah. Or what about Lynette? Right. I love her. But off the top, you don't think about that. If Kevin named Katt and Mike, well, what about the females? Who's the female you would be anxious to work with?
Monique.
Did he say that?
No, he did not.
Right.
Did not hear that.
Did you just say it before I said it?
No, I did not.
No, right.
But okay, so the female comedians take that as I mean, obviously you guys do, but not everyone means it as a sign of disrespect. We talked about our top 10 comedians, and Monique is falling in a lot of our top 10. I know personally she's in my top 10. She may even be in my top 5. She's hilarious. But then you see with her, she's not feeling though. She's getting the respect that she deserves. So has women historically, in your opinion, been disrespected in female comedy?
Absolutely. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how female comics are living? Do you know any female comics that got big mansions and Denali deals? Wanda Sykes, maybe. She's gay and she's married to a white woman.
Tiffany.
Okay? Tiffany is a comedic actress.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a comic, but she's a better actress. Okay? I'm talking about straight up comic. Monique is a comic actress as well. I'm a comic actor because you have to do like both. You know what I'm saying? I think that to be able to only name 3 is pretty pitiful.
That's true.
I think that women do not get the endorsement deals that the men are offered. You don't see us selling Denali trucks, and we could because we have groceries and we have kids. You know, a lot of these deals are made by the guys out on the golf course and shit like that where there's no women around. We are an afterthought. We're like, let's cast all the men and then we'll think about the women, you know, or whatever like that. If they did a Harlem Nights and I wasn't in it, I would be salty as fuck.
Well, I mean, that's true. They had Della Reese in it, and she was iconic in that. And they had so many other beautiful, iconic female actresses in there. It would only make sense. Who was the other? Who was? I forgot her name. She Waiting to Exhale. Though. She played in Waiting to Exhale. She played in I forgot what other movie she played in. She was
Of course. Because we don't stick in your mind like that. See? It's not your fault. It's the way it's conditioned. The people are conditioned to remember the men, and we are an afterthought. Like people don't know my name. I've been in the game for 30 years, and you can say, "Oh, we're going to interview Luenell." They'll be who? You got to say, you know, the little blonde chick, the little thick blonde. Oh, her.
Mm-hmm.
But all these guys' names are household fucking names.
You know, when I went home,
Can you name the 4 women that were in the Queens of Comedy? The biggest female comedy tour as to date.
Monique, Adele, Givens, some more, and I forget. I'm losing my blank on my favorite one.
How can she be your favorite and you don't know her fucking name? It's Laura Hayes.
Miss Laura Hayes. She be smoking weed and giving the tutorials. I'm telling you, that's my OG. I'm sorry.
Okay, but you don't know her name. That's hurtful, bro.
I forgot her name.
But you didn't forget Mike Epps' name. You don't forget Kevin Hart's name. You don't forget Michael Blackson's name. You don't forget Gary Owens' name. You don't forget Lil Duval's name. You don't forget, you know 25 niggas' name. I actually named 4. And you couldn't do it. That's the story of our life. I'm not condemning you. I'm just saying we are an afterthought.
I named 3 out of the 4.
And that's the truth. Yeah, but you didn't name 4, but it's only 4 women. And you say she's your favorite. You can't have a favorite and you don't know her name.
I wouldn't know none of them. Probably like one of them. To be honest.
Yeah, see?
No disrespect.
And that is the biggest female comedy tour that's ever been in the history of the world. Right there after Kings of Comedy, which was DL Cedric, Bernie Mac, and DL Cedric, Bernie Mac, and well, it was Guy Torrey early in the Steve Harvey. But the females came after that, and it's like nobody remembers the entire tour.